Hi, I'm Amir, and I love using generative AI for innovation and sharing what I learn. Lots of leaders and product managers are sitting on the fence with regards to generative AI and what it allows us to do. Often, they think it's too complicated or risky to start. One of the ways I try to get them past this initial block is by quickly building prototypes that solve business use cases which they bring up. There are several tools I use to build these simple but effective demonstrations. In this video, I want to show you how I do this with a great tool that requires no coding, is super flexible, and has a number of cool features. It's also completely free to use. The tool is AWS PartyRock. So, let's get the party going! To get started, go to partyrock.aws. You can sign up or sign in with your Google, Apple, or Amazon account. For inspiration and ideas, you can go to the Discover link and play with generative AI applications that others have already built. But today I want to quickly show you how you can build your own app. There are two ways to get started. You can either describe what you want to build with a prompt in this pop-up, and PartyRock will generate the initial app for you, or you can start from scratch. When I have a good idea of the use case, I usually prefer to build it myself. So let's start with an empty app. Let's take an example use case. I want to create an app to allow my sales team to practice their objection handling skills with customers when speaking about our products, and then get feedback about how well they did in the conversation. I'll need some place to describe the product and list typical objections that customers have when in sales conversations. I want the app to suggest different personas that the salesperson can practice with. First step, quickly rename the app so people know what's it about. Then, click the dotted area to add a widget. There are a number of widgets that either allow the user to enter some input or use generative AI to generate content or allow interaction. I usually place a static text widget with simple instructions on how to use the app at the top left corner. Next, I will use the user input widget, where we could later paste some information about the product. This will give us context for the sales conversation. If I have a PDF, Word, or PowerPoint documents on the product, I can use the document upload widget to let users drop the file here instead. In a similar way, I add user input widgets for entering basic information about who the customer is, what's the context of the scenario, and a list of common questions or objections that customers have with regards to our product. Now comes the fun generative AI stuff. I'll add a text generation widget so that the app generates a detailed persona for my customer. I can select the large language model which I want the widget to use, and write a detailed prompt with instructions for the LLM to follow. It's super easy to refer to the context of other widgets. There are also advanced options which allow me to tweak the outputs. I will cover these in a more detailed video about AWS PartyRock features. But for now, let's move on. The next component will be a chatbot widget. Here, the user will have a simulated conversation with the customer persona, answer their questions, and handle any objections that they might have. Once they're ready for feedback, we will place another user input widget for them to say they are, and then another text generation widget. With a different prompt, we'll simulate a sales coach feedback based on the product, the customer, the context, and a transcript of their conversation. That's all there is to it. Our sales simulator is ready. Now I can publish and share the app with my sales team and get feedback on their experience with it. While it may not be production level for some use cases, and you might not want to use it with confidential data, this type of quick prototype allows you to create generative AI-powered applications in minutes, experiment with prompts and different language models, and get early feedback from users. I'll create another video with more examples and tips on AWS PartyRock, as well as other videos on using generative AI for products and innovation, and tools that will help you with that. So make sure you subscribe to get updates from this channel. and add a like so that I know you want more of this type of videos in the future. Check out the description for links to AWS PartyRock and some more demo apps I built with it. And reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to talk about this stuff. Go ahead and build your PartyRock apps and share your experiences and links in the comments below. I'll see you next time.